let's say you're team principal at Haas again. I'm sorry to put you back there. But let's say
exactly. Don't do that to me. I'd rather hang out with you guys than go back there.
Let's say you were team principal at Haas again. Kevin Magnussen shows up. He's got bags under his eyes, and he says, "I've been sim racing. I've been up on the sim for 3 hours till 3 a.m. Don't talk to me. I haven't slept very much." And then he goes out, screams at everybody on the radio, loses his front wing, and, finishes out of position and is slagging off the whole team. Are you going to maybe question his what he's doing at night or no?
I mean, I read that story and I don't know how true it is. But, if he sim race until 3 and then gets up at 10 o'clock to go to, I don't know what time he got to the track, he still slept enough. I mean, he's a grown-up man now. He needs to know what he's doing. And I didn't see if he had bag under his eyes or not, because I know where you're going with this. But
I was talking about Kevin Magnussen. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. But then you just changed it around on me. But I would be more worried if they'd been out in the nightclub until 3 in the morning than sim racing.
Right.
So
okay. So you don't think Crofty was because Crofty was
Yeah.
I don't know if you were watching the telecast. You were in Hungary, but Crofty was hitting it over and over and over again. Like, Max, he sounds like is he sounds cranky. He sounds like he's been up all night, and he kept hitting it over and over and over again. And my first question is, do you think that was fair? And second, I want you to talk about British bias for a second. And if you think, as someone who can speak many languages and has probably heard British broadcasts, German broadcasts, Italian broadcasts, is British bias a thing? And if so, is it any worse than German bias, Italian bias, any other language you speak bias?
No, it's not any worse. All these countries obviously have got their heroes, and now the British have got, how many drivers? They've got 3 this year and 4 next year.
3 going to be 4, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they've got a little advantage there over everybody else. And there's a little bit of bias, but I think also in general, it's just like, I think like we all are happy that there is no dominance of Max, and Max now showing weaknesses. A lot of people are happy about it because he was so strong for so long. All good things come to an end. We all know that. So maybe his thing comes to an end for the time being. I still think he's one of the best, if not the best driver. Or I think he's the best driver in the moment. I still say that, but he is not in this dominating car anymore. And he showed a weakness by not only being on the sim until 3 in the morning, as Crofty says. I'm going to ask Crofty if he was sim racing with him, because that's why maybe he upset you guys so much with his commentary, So we need to speak with him as well, make it clear that you better don't upset us 3, because
right.
the judgment is out for you. Exactly.
Yeah.
No prisoners here. But I think Max knows. Max is just, these things, they get to you. He's not this dominant. He doesn't go to the race anymore. Yeah, I'm going to win. It's always good. I need to do a good job. I'm focused, everything. No, everybody else wants to win now. This is something new for him now. And he needs to get used to it. But I think we will see the Max coming out. I don't know how many years ago it was when he was coming up and he was fighting out there, And the FIA had always, when the Max braking started, braking under turning and all that stuff,
right.
That's him. We will. For us, it will be very entertaining, a Max which is on a warpath, because he will do things no other driver is going to do, because he doesn't want to become second.
I think the big question is, is that mentality, is Max's mentality of, I don't want to come second, maybe going to bite him in the ass? And if in a race where he is like, you're not first, you're last kind of mentality, whereas, taking a note out of the Prost, playbook of, let me get 4th, let me get 5th, let me, just chip away, get these points and secure that 4th championship. Will that actually bite him in the ass? And I guess, I don't know, 2 questions. how likely do you think it is that Lando could actually nab this thing from Max? And realistically, where do you see Max and Red Bull like fighting? What position now at this point with that car the way that it is? The upgrades didn't work. McLaren's finding form. Mercedes and Ferrari are also finding form, a bit track dependent, but they can have good form on Sundays. Like, where do you think Max is? Like, where's his top now? Because it doesn't feel like it's winning races anymore. It feels like it's third, fourth, or fifth. Where do you put them?
I put them, it could be everything in the moment. The 4 teams, I say all 4 because also Ferrari has some strong, it's racetrack specific. And how do you find your setup? They're so close together. I think McLaren in the moment has, in general, all over the different racetracks, an advantage. I think the Mercedes and the Red Bull will be better, for example, in Spa again, but the McLaren will not be worse. They will be better with the high-speed corners because they showed they are good there. So I think that is better, but it will be a very tight battle. And as you said, with Max now, being second is the first loser attitude. It's difficult to win a championship if you where he's now, because I think Lando can win it. He's not this far behind. Just a few more things Max does wrong. He still half the season to go, and he can recover. So I think Max needs to change his approach, get the best result for what your car can do. Do not try to do more than the car is able to do, like he tried in Budapest. He tried to overtake Lewis. It just wasn't going to happen. He wasn't fast enough at that track to overtake, because it's difficult to overtake and you need a big delta, time-lap delta to overtake somebody, and it wasn't good enough. But he tried hard and he got lucky that he brought home a 5th place. Otherwise he would have 0 points, would be even worse. So with this attitude, Lando has got more chance to win the championship.